was talking with a couple of colleagues of mine only a couple of days ago from Brazil, and I had the opportunity to asking some questions, though that they had plenty of questions for me, but I wanted to ask them some questions because I said to them, guys, the incidents that take place in Brazil seems to be not only the most profound, but probably the most terrifying, strangely enough, in the world. And why do you think that is? And they both kind of pondered for a second and came back with the same answer. They said, Steve, the amount of strange ritualistic practices that are taking place in Brazil. I mean, there are people that literally, priests and things that run church meetings, and then
Yeah.
they go off afterwards to do these ritualistic things. And he said, I think the strange stuff that goes on, some people have even got altars and doing worshipping of all sorts of strange deities. He seems to think that it's kind of tainted Brazil in a sense of speaking. What do you think, Thiago? Do you think they're close on this?
Well, I think that when people they are afraid and they have no answer, they go to the religion. And the Brazil is a Catholic religion place. Uh, so in back in 1977, people were attacked by these crafts, by laser beams,
Mm,
and women and elder people and kids, they run away to the church of the city of Colares. So they stay there to avoid to be attacked and also to pray because they have no idea, and we don't.
mm. Yeah,
We both we cannot understand as well. They didn't know what was that thing that was attacking them. So they use the religion like the last way or the last chance to protect themselves.
yeah.
That's why they happen. That's why they run to the church.
Yeah, it's very frightening cases. The Colares UFO incidents from 77 to 78 is probably, for me, probably the world's most profound incident. Though that, I don't know if you'll realize this, but some years later, in the newspaper of the Indian Times, which was released in Ireland, for enough, there was an article in this newspaper, and it said a local village, very similar in size to Colares, was basically besieged by what they're saying was objects that fired at them, and there were injuries, and they ran off. When they called the police came, but the official report said that it was a swarm of bees. But when I was reading it, it just illuminated that maybe Colares isn't the only similar incident that's taken place. Actually, if you do a Google search on that, I'm sure you'll find it. Because there's actually a newspaper cut, and you can see the people there, and they look like, yeah, they look panicked. They look like that they've had some problems with this. So maybe it does go on. But do you know what? When I listen to other researchers, and some of them have annoyed me a little because they're just quite happy to jump on the bandwagon and say this is a psyops that took place and it's done on purpose to make it look like UFOs are dangerous, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just thought, absolute rubbish. There's no way. I mean, just looking at they came from the water, I believe. The estuaries and the river, the sea,
Correct.
which was very interesting. There was a multitude of shapes and sizes of these. I mean, according to, I can't remember his name. Might be able to enlighten me. What was the name of the military officer that did
With
confess?
Angiolanda.
That's the
With
gentleman.
Angiolanda. He was the
Yes,
leader of the team.
that's correct. Yes. Well, from his descriptions alone, there were triangular objects that released dart-shaped objects. There were traditional flying saucers, every feasible shape and size.
We have 5 types of UFO shapes reported, like tic tac, like a rectangle, a square, spheres, 8 types, and the classic UFO disc shape.
Yeah, there's just so many. I mean, if you're looking at this is supposed to be a psyops, then of course we have to say, well, we've got hundreds of these objects, various size from huge to small. We've looked to have different capabilities. Some of them have like a mothership type where it can release smaller ones. But what fascinates me the most is do you really think we would have had the technology in 1970 and 77 and 78 to have a beam of light that can fire down purposely targeting individuals which passes through solid matter such as roofs and walls to hit them in a paralyzed state? But what they described was maybe a 20-25 light coming in.
Yep.
Or it stopped just away from the body, and then a smaller one comes out and penetrates the body.
And leave 3 marks.
Tremendous, yes. Tremendous pain, the smell of ether, which was interesting as well, which, according to some of the people that we've interviewed, they said they smell ether.
The object was behind the trees, right, Mum? Like coloured lights. And the beam that came down above the chestnut tree, it came down right on me. It was round with lights around it. That impact on my chest, and I fell. When I already fell, I woke up with my mother trying to pick me up. It was like a yellowish light, right, Mum? There we were. Did you smell anything? Yes, like ether. Where was the smell coming from? From this light beam. This smell appeared. No, it was this side here. And then the smell came at the moment that I felt an impact here on my chest. I became weak. I fell. Then I lost consciousness and woke up in the hospital. Did you feel any pain? I felt a burning sensation. I felt like that my body was weak. Weakness all over my body. I felt a lot of weakness and headaches. She needed a lot of time to recover.
Yeah. And it seemed to have extracted the iron out of the bodies.
Over 1,000 people were attacked during a certain period of time. There were lots of injuries made by this object that would come from the sky and emit a beam of light towards people's body, making them faint and become anemic.
Fly like an airplane, but with no wings, with no engines, nothing,
Yeah.
and attack people in several shapes.
It
So
doesn't
what
make any
technology is
sense.
that?
It cannot be a psyops. I'm just not. I'm not.
Of course not.
There's no way. You know. So some people might want to consider that, but I've always said, look, let's just put on the table what the phenomena represents. I get, and I understand that people might have spiritual or euphoric experiences. I understand that. I'm not saying that these nice, good events do happen, but at the same time, you can't just push these things under the carpet. You have to put it all on the table and say, look, sometimes there are good things. Sometimes there are bad things. It's a toss of a coin. We don't know what's going to be happening. And really, the same hand that feeds could be the same hand that bites, in a sense of speaking. We just don't know. What do you think, Thiago? Do you think that's the same thing?
Yes, I do. I do. We have a lot of evidence. For me, the Operation Plate is the most documented cases in the world because we have more than 2,000 pages of documents, secret documents wrote by militaries with drawings, with photos, with testimonies, with localization, everything. They went there and did a tremendous investigation, but that investigation were shut down abruptly. We don't know why. We don't know why. That's a question. And with Angiolanda, when he went to speak with the Brigadier Protásio, who was the chief of the area, he told to Angiolanda, well, that's fine, okay, but the mission is closed. We are that close to get in touch or get more evidence of that thing. So
Yeah.
I can understand that if you cannot sweep under the carpet, that a lot of evidences.
There really is. I mean, I know it might not be what some people want to hear. I mean, I tried to talk about this in the US in a place in Arkansas, and it is, which I didn't realize at the time, quite a Bible Belt area. And I tried to talk about the aspect that this phenomena represents both sides. And they really didn't like it. They really, in fact, some of them were very upset with me because I'd even mentioned that such things might happen. So it is, I think belief driven is a problematic thing here because I had people saying, well, I've just introduced my 12-year-old daughter to this phenomena. And I said, well, I'd be very cautious if I was you. You just don't know. But it depends on what area and what belief system you have. But it's quite clear that there's these untoward incidents all over the world. Now, when it came to the military coming out in regarding, Project Plato, of course, when they came out, they didn't seem that, maybe they were told not to engage the phenomena. They seemed to be certainly interested in learning about it and interviewing people and getting information, but not really in an attempt to stop what was happening to these people.
The first objective of the mission was to identify what it was, because they have no idea. They had only reports and the press covering it, taking photos and everything. So the mayors asked for help for the Brazilian Air Force. So they sent a small group without William Jolanda. He was not in the first, let's say, in the first part. The leader was Soldier Flavio. He was the leader, but he was a soldier, and they start to make campaign and interview people and get evidence, and they were skeptical. They didn't believe it in UFOs. Also, William Jolanda, he didn't believe in UFO. He was skeptical, and when he came and start to talk with Soldier Flavio, the Soldier Flavio asked him, "Sir, do you believe in UFOs?" And William Jolanda said, "No, I don't. I have to see with my bare eyes." And in one night, they were camping, and a huge disc just hover above their heads and stop and move away. And then Soldier Flavio asked him, "Sir, and now?" And William Jolanda said, "Well, now I can see it. Now I believe." So they went there to identify. And after that, they start to see that what was happening was real, was not a social experiment like many people love to say. It was something real with a solid object, real objects that were attacking people. They were diving in the water. They are getting out of the water. So we don't know. Still, in 2025, with 2,000 documents, more than 200 of photos and films that we don't know where are the films, but we know that they exist.
They must have, because we know that they had them and they were filming them,
know.
But they weren't released, really. I mean, we got some very interesting photographs. I mean, the original photographs you can clearly see that, some of these objects which were firing suddenly would turn and then literally fire, targeting people. It was like a turkey shoot. It was incredible. But what was really interesting is that some of the military records and diagrams and drawings that were made from the official captain of the team actually drew that they may have had contact with beings himself and maybe some other officers. And that adds extra weight to this, that it's actually impossible to be a psyops, because some of these craft allegedly came down, there was contact with beings as well. And he even drew what looked to be like one of them holding like some type of gun. Strange.
Yeah. That in one case, a group of friends were chatting in the front of one house, on their house, and UFO like a cylinder with a glass window with two entities inside it. They saw the two the small entities inside of the cylinder, flying, and they maneuver something inside the thing, and they shoot a laser beam,
Yes.
try to get them. The laser beam hit one of them, but they saw it. The entity, a small entity inside of a cylinder, flying without wings, without without engine, nothing, just a cylinder flying. Well, I don't know.
Incredible.
I don't think we have this technology.
No, but it's a series of events because though Colares was probably the most significant recorded event in the world, as far as I'm aware, and the amount of people that were adversely affected, the government, even the US government, is give false information as opposed to, such as how many people were actually affected. I think they only put a handful of people down. In fact, I think AJ actually referenced over 1,200 people, and that's a huge amount.
Estimative. 200,000 people saw it. 200,000 people saw it.
That's incredible.
And more than 2,000 people were attacked by the things. So that's not a group. That's a 5 or 6 or 1.
No, it isn't.
Thousands of people.
Yeah, I remember I've looked at a number of the news articles that came out at that time. You could see that they were very lethargic because of the lack of iron in the body. But was there any of that perished because of those encounters? I heard that there may have been a small amount of people that did perish.
Officially, we have one left. One.
Right.
But when I went there in 2024, to shoot the series Investigation Alien with George Knapp and V,
yes.
I started to talk with people at Colares, and I got one another man called José Francisco, and he told me, now I know that two people died after the attack, so there's no record of it. And Steve, what we discover, many of medical reports of people that have been attacked by those UFOs were missing. We don't know. Yes, we don't know.
Oh, no, that's very interesting. Very interesting.
And I spoke with George Knapp, with Carlos Mendes. Carlos Mendes was a journalist here in Brazil that covered the whole story before the Air Force and after the Air Force. And he confirmed, Thiago, the medical reports just disappeared. And George said to me, well, I think that a friend of mine knows where the documents are. And I asked, where are? Well, ask to my friend Bigelow.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Robert Bigelow.
Yes. So
that doesn't surprise me, Thiago, not at all.
Me too. Me neither.
I know. It is so profound that maybe a lot more, because I've seen a lot of documentaries. We've even got a good friend of mine who did a Brazilian case from '96 regarding an alien that was captured and taken to a hospital. I will
Virginia case, yeah.
But and James Fox is a good friend of mine, and I said to James,
I know him.
I said to James, is anybody going to do a real thorough, proper, documented investigation of Colares? Because it's crying out to be really properly, thoroughly examined, because it is the most significant, I think, in the world. And there are still people around. It's not like Roswell. There are still people around that witnessed these events, isn't there?
And people that want to talk.
And people that want to talk. Right.
Yeah.
Then inside the light tunnel, something like a needle came down. Like a serum needle, a metallic object. It came down slowly, came and came. When it got close to me, I was able to free myself and scream. A clarity, a focus, like a flashlight. The beam came down through the roof, and when it hit him, he fainted. I was a nursing assistant when it attacked. They ran to the hospital, almost dead. The person became numb. When they realised they were already injured, they were stings, like pinpricks. It was already done. I kept my arm like that and closed my eyes. Then I heard that weird noise and I wanted to open my eyes, but I couldn't. Then I saw it. The light came down and gripped me right here. It turned purple with that puncture. It was numb. I wanted to move, but I couldn't.
I think most of the real good stuff is probably still locked up for some
You got
reason.
the point. Yeah, you got the point. Brazil always had youth outside of Brazil always said that Brazil has open mind. Yeah, we do have open mind, but the good stuff, the real stuff. I mean, the report and the film of the official night of UFOs in 1986. We're still looking for it.
Yeah.
The documents about Virginia, we're looking for it. The films and documents, and we know that they have more documents and photos and films about the Operation Plate. We're still looking for it. So Brazil is open. They release documents. Okay, we made a campaign, UFOs, freedom of information now. We got more than 4,000 pages of secret documents from Brazil. But the cherry of the cake,
the cherry on the cake.
Yeah, we still missing it. We still want it. This is what we're looking for.
I think, the sensitivity about this particular incident of Colares could be the reason for putting a halt to further information being put out to the general public, because if it is construed to be a foreign agent of some sort that has literally invaded a small village and done these things, it would seem that A, we cannot control the skies, B, we cannot seemingly stop this phenomenon from taking place, and 3, we cannot protect people. If those 3 things were identified, that's a very, very concerning thing for any government to want to share, I guess.
Yeah, in September, we had a hearing in the House of Deputies in Brazil about UFOs, about national security, because this is a matter of national security. We have something in the sky. We had, and we have also, nowadays, attacking people. We don't know, and we cannot stop them to come in and out from the water, from the sky. We had this hearing there, and we present all those informations about UFOs, our research, and we ask of course the documents, but we asked for more participation of the militaries, scientists, and government to investigate. We were not there to say, oh, everything is this alien, is extraterrestrial. No, we want to know what it is. When we say UFO, it's not just when UFO is not a extraterrestrial vehicle. We don't know what it is. It's a UFO. It's a UFO. Yeah. So we need the government and the military and the scientists here in Brazil. We have to work together to try to get back this document, or at least, this document we sent to the United States. We have to know that answer. We need that answer. But also, start to investigate in a proper manner, because here in Brazil, we saw a UFO showing on TV, and a week later, everybody forgot it, because in Brazil we have lots of problems. We have economic problem, social problem. We have a lot of problems. So they don't want to spend time and votes.
Yes.
To talk about UFOs.
Yes, I completely understand that. I mean, we can't get away from the fact that UFOs firing beams of light down on individuals or even on military bases or close to military bases has been taking place all over the world. it does go back considerably in time. There are old references and even old paintings of an
Yep.
object in the sky that fires a pencil beam light down, and it's considered biblical or some religious connotation to it because the light passes through in the painting, the Annunciation, I think it's called. It passes through the wall and hits Mary on the forehead, And I'm thinking, I'm looking at the imagery, and I'm thinking, this is basically the same thing in imagery. So has it been going on for quite some time? We know that these lights have been seen all over the world coming down from objects. Sometimes they seem to be penetrating the ground in areas or in forests or jungles. Sometimes they've actually hit people, and it's caused significant damage. I mean, if we go back to the captain who eventually came forward and revealed some information, I assumed at the time. I know AJ managed to get that interview in there. I was under the impression there was going to be set to be more interviews with him, but I think it was an incident where he just couldn't handle it, bringing it all forward again, and unfortunately, he took his life. His life. There was a few people that thought that might be a little bit suspicious, or do you think it was just
No, no, no,
he,
no,
he
no,
really
no.
did struggle with trying to deal with this particular incident? Yes.
Yeah, he had a depression, had health problems. My father-in-law, my father-in-law was a Brazilian Air Force pilot. My father was a Brazilian Air Force pilot. William Jolanda was a Brazilian Air Force pilot. My father-in-law knew him,
Mm.
and I asked him once after he died, years after, William Jolanda committed suicide. And he told me, Thiago, he always had some kind of problem of depression,
Oh, okay.
even before the operation plate, even before and
Yeah.
after as well. And he unfortunately he committed
Yeah,
that
I think it
thing.
might have just pushed him over the edge, having to. He was trying to regurgitate all the memories, but you know what? He did a vital job because he got a
Yes,
lot of information, a lot of drawings, and when you look at those drawings, you think if these were the things we're seeing, it's incredible, absolutely incredible.
before Captain Hollanda, we had some documents. Bob Pratt had already
Yes.
wrote a book, UFO Danger Zone in
Mm.
Brazil. He spoke with Bob Pratt. He spoke with Captain Hollanda, but we didn't have before 1997 when AJ Verde and Marco Antonetti interviewed Captain Hollanda. We didn't have a main character,
Mm,
a
that's right.
protagonist
Yes.
of the facts.
Someone to
And
target. Yes. Yes.
yes,
I know.
so after 1997, everything were clear. That thing happened. We know that happened because the newspaper was there. But officially, we know that officially the Brazilian Air Force were there. Captain Hollanda was the leader, and he spoke for I think, more than 2 hours of interview, showing documents because he took copies of documents as well.
Yes.
And we got photos and got the copy of documents and the testimony of the person that was himself
Yeah.
in the whole story, of the UFO in Colares.
Yes, I know. I remember him saying that there was one occasion he was embraced by one of these beings from behind, and he saw an object come down. I don't know if it was egg-shaped or cylindrical shaped, but it seemed to come down across the river, and there were a platform, and he
Yeah,
saw the entities. I mean, that's interaction.
yeah. And after that, that episode, he went to Brigadier Protesio to tell him about this. And well, sir, I'm that close to get in touch and in contact. Okay, the mission is closed.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
mystery.
yeah. It
That's a
really,
mystery.
that
Why?
is that
We're
is
that close.
so close. I know, and yet it just closes everything down. I mean, significant. It was obviously a significant incident. These poor people were must have been terrified. There didn't seem to be an escape for them because running into their homes was not an escape.
There's no way.
I'm assuming the incidents happened quite abruptly. Usually during whilst they were sleeping, a lot of people. I assuming that they were paralysed at the time because the punctures, or did it just happen so fast? But they woke up and saw the light coming in, though. Yeah.
And these lights cause panic, cause terror, fear. And the factors that caused the most fear were precisely the fact that it did not produce any noise. It didn't produce any sound. On top of the roof, like a lamp. Right on my thigh. When I saw that when I was sleeping, I saw that thing. That thing is just starting to come towards me. On this side of the neck. It warmed me up. Like when we grab an electric wire and we receive an electric shock, and then it gave me these 3 sucks. And very quickly, you know, I started to move on the hammock asking for help. I started to sleep below the counter from then on.
We have every type of cases. We had attacks during the day with people wicked were attacked. We had episodes when the people were laying in a bed inside the house, and a laser beam just through the ceiling and hit them while awake, or in other cases sleeping, and they just felt burning and a scratch.
Yeah.
And instantly they got very dizzy.
Yeah.
Very weak.
Did they feel an extraction?
No, just a pinch, several pinches,
Right.
like a needle, several pinches. Mrs. Aurora told me, Thiago, I was paralyzed, but it's not like a paralyzed because of the laser, because I couldn't believe what happened to me. Paralyzed by fear, let's say.
Yeah.
And she felt several pinches like needle in her breast, here in her breast. Yeah. And then she followed and just woke up in a hospital, but she felt very dizzy, very weak, a lot of nausea and afraid, of course. Well, but when you go to Colares, Steve, the Colares was the epicenter, the center of everything, the Colares. When you go there, the whole city embraced that. Really? They took lemons and made a lemonade. Because now they have signs and say, well, Humaitá Beach, here the militaries made a camping, and the buildings were painting like an aliens, and there's a statue of an alien.
Really?
They use it, the terrifying scenes in 1997, 1998, to bring tourism to the city.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I said, if you go there, if you start to speak with people, mostly the older people that were there 40 years ago, they will be pleasure to talk to you, to speak to you about what happened.
So they're quite happy to talk about it then, aren't they?
Yes, they are happy. They want to share what they saw. They want to share their experience. And this Mr. José Francisco, he told me, this guy, the young guys didn't know what happened here. I was here. I saw a UFO just came and hit a lady in front of me. And we trying to throw a brick. And I said to my friend, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. He spoke to me like this.
Yeah.
And he said, well, there were a lot of militaries camping with military that was not a Brazilian. And I said, why? Why it's not a Brazilian? How do you know he was not a Brazilian? Because he speak a different language.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And have this recorded.
Right. Do you think they were do you think they were Portuguese or something? Or
he didn't know. Oh. I asked him, it was in English. I don't know if it was in English, but he was not Portuguese. I will send to you so you put an interview this.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So there may have been other parties that were interested and involved as well.
Yes, yes, we know that. And Georgia told me, Thiago, I'm sure that the 3 letters agency, intelligence agency, CIA, were here.
Yeah.
we're in Brazil investigating. We know that.
I can
So we
understand
have
that.
been,
Yeah, I mean, under any other circumstances, I'm sure three-letter agencies would be in a location of that magnitude of things taking place. It would seem obvious
yeah,
that, yeah, that they'd
and
have an interest.
we were in the middle of the Cold War.
Yes.
Brazil is ally of the United States.
Yeah.
In 1977, we are living in a military dictator here in Brazil.
Mm.
So in my opinion, the first reason to United States to be here is not trying to get extraterrestrial aliens. They are here concerning, well, this could be a Soviet weapon that we
Oh,
don't know.
yes, yes, of course.
So
Yeah,
they were here to understand, to check it out, and then when they figured out that no, that technology we don't have, the Soviets don't have, so
yeah,
let's see what it is. And then I think they change the objective, the investigation to the
yeah,
extraterrestrial hypothesis.
yes. I mean, there was obviously, I know that they were building bonfires on the beach to try and scare away
Yes,
these things.
with
Entering,
fireworks, with
yes,
fireworks and shotguns.
yes, anything, because it went on for quite some time, the incidents. And if they were going into the water, I mean, they must have been traveling somewhere. They must be going out, out to the ocean, or they came in through estuaries and things like that towards the coastline.
Yeah, well, Colares, if you go to Colares, we have the part of the Colares is a river, but
Yes,
goes to the ocean.
yes,
Okay, so we had many reports, mainly by fishermen that the things, lights, ball of lights, aircraft are diving to the
oh,
river.
saw it below the water, the lights.
Yes, yeah, but it was huge. It's not
Oh,
small. It's not like a meter diameter. It's huge aircrafts
yeah,
or ball of lights coming in and coming out of the water. And also in Belém, Belém is the capital of Pará State,
mm,
and goes to the ocean as well, the shore of the ocean. And the rivers in Amazon, they're so big that they looks like an ocean.
yeah,
If you stay in the shore, you cannot see the other part of the shore, the other
yeah, very
side of the
large.
shore.
Mm,
You see the horizon, so it's just like an ocean.
mm,
And many people said, "Well, we saw the things, let's call UFOs, coming from the forest and diving to the water, or coming out of the water and going to the forest."
yeah,
So this, and the militaries made a camp in a small island with a lighthouse. It's small. It's not
all
it's
right,
not
yes,
a small lighthouse.
mm.
Just with a light. They make a camping there to record the sound
Oh,
of the
the
UFO.
sound of them. Were they making a
And
humming sound?
yes, they recorded, and they saw the UFOs coming in and coming out of the water and going to the forest and coming from the forest. So the military saw it.
Yeah,
And so we don't have, well, they have bases in the water. I don't know. They use the water to hide, probably.
well, yeah, it did seem that the whole event was quite covert, sneaking up, using the water to hide themselves. It did seem like it was quite well thought out in a sense of
Yeah.
speaking.
Yes. And at the beginning of everything, the fishermen just saw this objects coming out of the water and stay in the sky and then dive again. And with the time, they start to get off the water and go to the forest and come
Mm,
back from the forest and dive. So it was from September to December of 1977, the great moment, the intensive moment, with a lot of sightings and reports and records and photos, everything. And from January to May or June of 1978, we had cases, but not like back in 1977 with the attacks, with
Yeah,
sighting every day, and every people
yeah.
seeing something like this.
I mean, was Colares a bit off the beaten track, or was it secluded, or was it a thriving sort of little a town?
It's a
Was it
town. It's a town. Colares is a town. It's a big town in the north of Brazil. It's
okay?
not big like Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, Belo
And what,
Horizonte.
Diego, was this policed? This town, was there any police presence in this town already?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
They have some sightings, not like 40 years ago attacking. No, the people see UFOs
Mm,
uh,
okay.
in the sky or getting out of the water as well. The same thing is happening,
Right.
but
Right.
not
Yeah.
but the attacks.
Right.
But the
I see.
activity of UFOs in the north of Brazil is huge. But the north of Brazil, it's so big, so big. You
Yes.
can put
Vast.
many countries of Europe in the north of Brazil. In
Yeah.
Amazon, Pará State, you can put a lot of countries there. The size.
Mm,
And if you want to go to a city to another, you have to take a boat, 3 4 hours a boat in a river, or you have to take a car 4 5 hours inside the jungle with very bad roads.
yeah.
So yes, it's very difficult to get from one point to another. To go to
Yes.
Belém, Barcarena to Colares, we took boats and rode a lot of time. We waste a lot of time just on a road.
Mm,
So
yeah.
if we have some sighting in a small town in the middle, literally in the middle of the jungle, we will never know.
No,
We will
you
never,
wouldn't
because
get to
people will
find
not
out.
tell. They not go to call you,
No.
and they see this sighting just like a routine.
Mm,
If you go
yeah.
there, oh, you see, yeah, I saw lights doing like this, or them gold mother is a folklore
Yeah.
entity. A gold mother is a ball of light.
Yeah.
It's a ball of
Ball
light
of light. There you are. Yeah.
that coming out of the river
Ah,
and attack people.
right. And
So
how old does that go back? Is it old
ah,
stories?
it's a folklore
Really?
from the Indians, from the
Right.
native.
A
So
long
it's a,
time.
it's a, it's a folklore. We have a boitatá. It's a snake, a glowing snake that chase hunters in a wood, in a jungle. So
Well, strange.
if you're trying to get the folklore, if you get the folklore and watch in a scientific view, an ufologist view,
Mm.
you can match with the
Yes.
sightings that we have today.
Yeah, I do believe that is quite a lot of truth to some folk tales, and we call them folk tales, but it's actually incidents that have taken place, which is representative to the phenomena. Is Colares a tourist location then? Are people visiting Colares? Is it? Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
that's good.
It's a very it's a beautiful city. The beach in the river is amazing. It's
Yeah.
huge. You can go there and you can swim.
Lovely.
Everything have the history of the city besides the UFO mystery. But it's a very pleasure city.
Thanks,
Research.
Diego. Thanks, Diego. You
Thank
take
you, my
care, and
friend.
you have a good day, and we will talk soon, my friend.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.